So welcome to the class. The name of the class is like DARS Delights, DARS Entries. I called it DARS because it's, I think, the name that's like most common for the technique. I normally would call it like a reverse anaconda because I'm traditionally coming from a lutte livre background, but still it's almost all the time the same technique. I will first show you like the way that I'm like getting the mechanics right for the choke, and then we go into the entries. So I did have another class as well, like lazy DARS mechanics. I will show you like in a short way how to finish it my way. So if I got like PJ over here with his head on this side, on the side one. So a lot of you have done like the DARS like an hour ago. We start off from the position, and then I show you what I do and why I do it. So we start off with this with the opponent on the side, and we get like the top arm straighten up and grab underneath the armpit and underneath the head. We can pull him in a little bit closer and place our like chest or bicep on his arm and grab with the wrist like coming underneath his head, grabbing on to our biceps. That would be like the normal position. People would like try to grab a little bit higher, and we saw like a moment ago that you can finish it as well, like laying more or less on the top side with your hips. I do it in a completely different way, but it's not that like one way is better than the other, but it's just like my way and why with what I have like the most success. So what's the main problem for me is that people who are like stronger will try to get their elbow back and create space on the upper side of the head. And my idea is to close that space, but not only with my my arm, but with my body. And I try to let him onto his knees, because his idea would be like to get his elbow back and maybe get on his knees, like posture up with his head and like break the grip a little bit. So this would be like a way to get out, and even like just a way to survive, because if you get the elbow down, you have a little bit more space. So what I do, Tom did it in Estonia as well. It's like some call it a Mars. So I go on the top of my arm, get on the side, and then I scissor my legs and let him come on top. So I will let him come on top, and I don't finish right here. I move my legs closer to him, do a little bridge, get him on the side, get it on the side, and then it's just like small detail. I don't want his elbow on the mat. I want to lift his elbow and get my chest underneath. So I got the arm, so I just go underneath and then collapse my elbow and tighten everything up. It seems like a long way, but with the entries, we land into the position almost immediately. So it's a nice way to just get to know the position as well. So we start off like this. So arm goes through, we get the biceps and get the arm on the top of the shoulder. We scissor the legs and let him go on top and stay tight all the time. We move closer, make a bridge, and just place our body underneath. I then pull my elbow down and pull this hand to his head and just finish. So this would be just like the way of finishing it. Start off in the side mount, just get the arm through, scissor your legs and let him come on top. And work with it. And if you got questions, just raise your arm. I'll be there. Let's go. Elbow stays more or less on the shoulder. Right. So I want to stay like this and not go like further. Okay. This would be like the choke would be off. So one thing that happens for two reasons. Either because we are like too relaxed and don't have tension, so we don't resist the choke, but also because sometimes when people have like longer arms, they overreach, especially when the other person has like a smaller neck or like similar neck, but the arm is too long. If I have like PJ, I need to be very careful that I don't overreach with my arm. So even if I can get like this, I don't want to. So my thumb stays on the back of the head. And when I grab, I try to keep this elbow as well. So what did happen is people lay on the ground, on the back, and then they won't take it through. So their hand was like this, and then it was kind of off because you didn't have enough pressure on the one side, and the other one was off as well. So try to make sure that your thumb is on the side of the head. If I have like someone slightly bigger, just slightly, come on. On the side. Correct. Then it might be that I'm not able to reach too far, but still, even if I can go like this, I stay here, close it, and try to make sure that my thumb is more or less, I don't point it out, but more or less on the back, on the side of his head. So I scissor, let him go on top, my legs come in, I bump, and still my thumb is in the same place. I don't overreach. From here, I close my elbow, I bring it in, and just more or less create pressure for the tap. So just to make sure that everything works out great, do it again and just focus on the placement of your thumb. But yeah, don't point it out, just for once, okay, and then close it. You don't need to point it out all the time. Yeah.
What do you mean by closing the elbow?
Closing the elbow. So when I'm finishing, like we have two parts of the movement, or three. I have first like the pulling in of the like lower part, and then pushing the elbow in, and then the last one would be like just putting my chest on the side of his arm. So try to work with that, but focus on your thumb. If this doesn't work, we have like trouble with the later techniques. So try to focus on the thumb, and then we go on with the other stuff. Let's go. I think we will, like for some people there's like still room for improvement, but also I think it's I will have like a lot of repetitions with you guys that I can like adjust the mechanic at the end for you, but you we need to talk about like what you're feeling and how it's positioned. What I feel sometimes is that when we go through like this and we have the more or less the arm like running across, not in a triangle, then we have like more pain from the sides. We want to make sure that the pressure doesn't come like this, but like this. So at the end, so if I'm just staying on top, I don't want the elbow on the ground. So this is like on the sides, and I just push up. So I want my hand, my elbow, like a triangle to the top of his like Armsapfel, whatever it's called in English, I don't know. So don't go with the elbow down, because I don't have a V. I need to have it in a way that it's connecting to the side of his head. But we will have like a lot of repetitions because we're doing entries, so we have a lot of time to work on it. So we start off in turtle, because I want to show you some ideas to slide into the position, and then it makes sense that we finish on bottom, not on top. So we start off on the sides. And what we do is we have the opponent just like a open turtle position for the beginning, and we have our hands on the sides. So we start off later with a body lock, but right now we just have the hands on the sides. And what we do now is scissor our legs in the same movement like we did before, and then shoot the arm through. So first I scissor, I fall down, and get the hand in place. Okay. So again, we're staying like this. We don't reach and then scissor, because now I can't reach the head. I first scissor, slide down, and get the position. And now you see again, I need to adjust later on with my hand position. It's like a little bit too far, but it doesn't matter for now, because I just close it up. I will move in, hip in, and then I adjust so I have the finish. Again, this is just like for practicing the movement. We don't have like a realistic position right now. He's open, we have no defense, but now we just like focus on the movement of the hips and sliding your arm through. So we start off like this. We scissor our legs, slide in, and then go across from the other side. So again, I'm like this. I scissor my legs and I go underneath the elbow to the side of the head. I grab, move in, hip in, and finish on the low side. Should I show it again?
No.
Okay, then let's go.
Yeah, well, good. Yeah.
I think we're getting there. It's also like it's a big opportunity for myself and every teacher as well when we show something to see all the problems that can emerge. If we teach at our gym at home, we have like 10 people, maybe just 2 persons have problems. Now I see a lot of different problems, and I have like some ideas to fix the mechanic at the end. And that would be to also, we have like the thumb is one thing that worked out pretty good at the end, but try to get your elbow closer to your body. So when I'm finishing, I do like a quick one. So I'm here. Now you see my elbow is like fairly open and away from my body, and his elbow is on the ground. So the right elbow is on the ground, and that's stopping me to apply pressure from the lower side. What I want to do is like go closer, lift his elbow up, and then get my elbow closer to my body. So this movement from here to here is crucial for me. And then I don't want to lay on my side. If I lay on my side, he gets the elbow back to the ground, and we start off again. So I lift it up, and then I stay on my more or less on my back, and just close it down and hip up. So the idea is also, if I get my elbow closer to my body, the movement of my chest translates to my elbow. So right here it's just arm. If I get it to my body and I bridge up, the arm moves as well. So I get like way more power. So try to get your elbow close to your body when you finish, and maybe that helps a little bit with the finishing. We start to get the position a little bit more realistic. So we have like a partner, and we start off again from the turtle. Sorry, turtle. But normally we're not open right for attacks, but we try to keep our elbows a little bit closer. But from the position where we got into is like a body lock, more or less from the turtle. And it's a position that normally a lot of people don't feel threatened from. Because normally a headlock, if we stay like this, everybody's like, what the fuck? But if we go like around the body, nobody's taking that seriously because they don't see the immediate danger of a choke. So that's like our opportunity. But still, we have a problem with his hands defending the neck. So if I want to slide in, the hand on the other side, this one is getting me the most trouble. So if I would go in and this hand is somewhere near the head, I will maybe get caught, but also maybe just a little bit of friction that makes the movement slower. So what we do is like a grapevine, I hope that makes sense as a word, with my fist behind his shoulder. So I start off like this, and I put, even if he's like pulling back a little bit, okay, right here, I put my hand behind his armpit, but in front of his elbow. And from here, if I straighten like my arm, I can get him like to a more or less Kimura type position. I break him down on this shoulder, and also there's nothing protecting this side. So right now, go back. So we're starting like this. I get the elbow, I break him down, and I immediately go through. So I can grab the position and finish again, lifting him up, getting my elbow closer to my body, and finishing right here. So, yeah. Again, I'm starting in a body lock. I get my elbow, my wrist through, and then I straighten the arm to collapse the shoulder. Okay. So I'm like this, collapsing the shoulder. And from here, I can just slide in because this space is free. Just nice to use. So for the camera as well. So now this one is free to slide in with the hand. From here, I close and just go for the movement. If you want to just annoy people, you can do it on both sides. It just looks funny. So if you're like this, you can go on both sides and collapse them. But then it's like maybe a little bit harder to go for the choke because like one side is like blocking my hips. But still, it's an interesting way to like put pressure on someone from that position. So last time, behind the elbow. Behind the elbow, but in front of the forearm. Just straighten the arm, rotate through, get the position, and then just fit in body underneath the arm and elbow through the body for the finish. Okay, let's go.
was very easy now.
Because a lot of you had more or less problems with the rotation of it. For the end, I want to show like a way simpler beginning, like simpler entry, but another way to fall into the position. So we showed it. I showed it first, like laying flat on my back, but now I show like another version, just so you have like an idea why that might be a good idea to like choke, like finish from the back. We start off in a normal side mount with the head. That's perfect. And we start off in a position that's where you need to pin the opponent. So normally, if you're like on the same level, it's tough to be like in a like Käsekatame frontal side mount. So you get like an underhook, stuff like that. It's like rarely ever happens nowadays. But still, it's a good idea, and even just to practice like dart strokes on white belts, it's a good thing because you can get some practice in. So it's just a really easy and maybe a lame idea to get like the dart stroke. I go to the like we call it a front side mount. You can call it whatever you want. So I'm getting my knee underneath the elbow or the shoulder, and have like a little bit of base here. I can like push my ribs into his ribs, so I get like a little bit of pressure. And from here, I just want to fake more or less an armbar or like a small discomfort for the neck. So I put my leg over and even like can pull this head a little bit to the side. His idea, and you see the reaction, is to go with this hand to the shin or to the knee or somewhere. If he starts pushing my leg off, I just connect my elbow or tricep to his elbow and give him some space so he can turn with the movement. So I go over there and I just catch the head. From here, I go underneath again and can like, if I feel it like this, I can adjust a little bit and get to the position. Again. So we start off like maybe normal side mount. You get the knee underneath the shoulder, put pressure with your ribs on his ribs and get the leg over. If he doesn't react to it because it's loose like this with a lot of distance, you can just like get the heel to his side of his head and like push it a little bit to the side. Then it's not as cool for him. If he pushes, I just follow the movement, grab the head and give him more space to come to the side and grab through. From here I close and then I can go for the finish. From here we did already fall onto our back and finish from there, but people have like not only the idea of getting his elbow back and coming on top, and then I would fall onto my back, but also if I have the choke, people try to go on their back again, and then over rotate in that direction, so I'm missing the angle. So I have an angle, and if he just moves his back to the ground, I'm losing the angle, and sometimes I even slip, or he can like get his elbow to this side or to my hip on the other side. So he could just try to go on his back and get his right hand like maybe to my thigh, just like straight, go on the back and straight. So over there, and then I might lose this. So from here, what I do, it's very lazy. I feel him going back to his back, and from here I just fall. And I'm now directly in the position to finish, so I move my body underneath and finish. So again. So I start off in a side mount, get the leg over, he pushes away, and I get contact with my chest to his arm, and I grab the head and pull him in a little bit. I go through, but because he started off on his back, maybe he has the intent to go back on his back, and then I feel like, oh, even if I would try to scissor, that's a different direction. So I just keep it. I look to my right side and just fall over. Get my legs in place, just closed. How can we change the direction? I don't know. Wait a second. I don't know. Really. So going over, getting the head, falling over. And now he goes onto the, so it's his choice to go this way, and I just fall. So it's like a very lazy way of getting there, but still we have like an option for both directions. So we have an option if he's trying to get like his elbow back and going on his knees, and also a direction if he tries to go on the ground and straighten his arm for the hip. So try this entry for the last one, and then go onto your back for the defensive guy, and you just follow by just like flipping over. But don't make it athletic, we don't need to be. So just go lazy. Let's go. Whoa, sorry! Wait a second. Yeah.
If you don't mind,
Yeah.
could you show the one that we started with, but just without an opponent? Because I want to see how your arms move in a triangle throughout. I'm really struggling to.
I'm trying, like with this one?
Without a person.
Okay, so wait a second. I can do it. So I'm starting off normal side mount, frontal side mount. Okay, I put the leg over, he pushes his off, and I get my elbow behind his elbow. So I'm going with him and going on the side. I pinch it in and get my left hand through. I connect, and now he's going on his back. So the only thing I do is just follow him. Wait a second, that's weird. So I'm staying like this. And I get my elbow up and my body underneath and finish like this.
So you're reaching here.
Okay, I will show it you in a second. For you, just go and practice. Let's go. Okay, so I got the feeling that it was getting better, and I felt like people like getting the hang of it a little bit more. But still, I think it's a way more difficult way to finish. But if you go with more resistance, and that was something that I would advise you to do it in practice with in rolling, but also just like sometimes get someone and tell them just to resist a little bit more, because sometimes it really feels off when you have like someone with like a smaller neck or you got like long arms and you feel like something's off. It's like trying to do like back takes from turtle with your other opponent like standing like this, and you feel like something's off. So you need a little bit more of resistance sometimes to work with it, because it's a technique that is like used in a realistic scenario, not with like not resisting partner. It was a lot. I hope you got the hang of it later in the class. Thank you all for being here. And if you have like any questions concerning the techniques or anything other, just come to me and I would be happy to help. Thank you.